Hey guys, welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and my god, do we have a really good video to talk about today. In today's video, I will be discussing My Hero Academia, the possibilities of this arc. What is this next arc going to really be for the My Hero Academia world? So here's the fact. If you have not kept up with the manga, if you are not a manga reader, if you have not read chapter 223 of the manga, do not watch this video because this video will have, of course, anime spoilers, and I will, of course, be speculating on events going forward. So the fact is, if I'm completely wrong in this video, it's alright that I'm completely wrong in this video. I think I'm on the right track, though, and we'll see in the next coming video. So, if for some reason none of this happens in chapter 224 or 225, well, guess what? It's just speculating on the next arc as a whole. So, I might be wrong, I might be right, who knows? But this is going to be a fun video. So, talking about this next arc. So, it doesn't have an official name yet. I am going to name it, and this name is not going to stick, I know. I'm just naming it this for the video. I'm naming it The Villainous War, because what is this going to be? I believe this is going to be a villainous war. I believe it's going to start in the shadows, but it will soon be in the spotlight. And with this war, who are we fighting against? Who are versus each other in this war? Well, I'll tell you who. 5 factions. There are 5 groups that are going to go head-to-head with each other in this next arc, I believe. Let's talk about the first one, the most important one. The League of Villains. So, it all has to do with, of course, the main man himself, Tomura Shigaraki, the grandson of the lady who trained All Might himself. Let's go ahead and talk about his character for a second. If you go back in the original chapters of My Hero Academia, the first chapters of My Hero Academia, when we first meet Shigaraki, he is nothing more but a villain. He does it for fun. But he didn't really have a real reason to fight. Then we go ahead to when we meet him again, when he meets Stain, of all people. He sees Stain fighting to change the world. And at first, he's like, well, I just want to wreck stuff for fun. He doesn't have an actual reason why, and that's bothering him. He wants a reason why he wants to destroy. And that's when he goes to Midoriya and meets him at the mall, and finds out from Midoriya his true reason why. His true reason why is to wrong the people who wronged him. His true reason why is to destroy not just All Might, but more importantly, everything All Might stands for. In the very next arc, we learn what his true motives are. His plan is simple: to ruin the hero name. He not only captures a hero in training, but then proceeds to turn that hero into a villain. Of course, it didn't work out for him. In fact, it was such a humongous flop that backfired on him, and he completely lost everything, including his own master. Fast forward to this arc. He was lost. He didn't know what to do next. And then, he looks back. He looks back on his own backstory, and we get to learn what it is. We get to learn how his family died. Unfortunately, not willingly, by his own hand. He could not control his powers. And when everyone thought, oh, a hero will come and save the day, no one did, and that's when All for One picked him up instead and turned him into the villain he is today. He is going to use that anger, use that frustration in this next arc. and he is going to become the main villain of this series. I cannot wait to see that. With him, he of course has his group of baddies, and then he also has the Doctor. He doesn't have the Doctor's full support right now, but he's going to earn that very soon. Along with the Doctor comes 100 or possibly more powerful, and I mean monstrous, powerful Nomus. This guy is going to have an army behind him. And what's worse than that is that his friend Dobby has someone else who could possibly be an ally. We're going to be talking about that in a second here. So, in this latest chapter of My Hero Academia, what happens is now he's basically training, trying to get control of, I can't pronounce his name, Gigantia or something, here he is. He's trying to get control of him, and he even has a villainous smile on his face, just like a kid going after his dream, because that's exactly what he's doing. Unfortunately, he's going after his own dream. While training, our next faction comes into play. The Liberation Army, a group of, to the public's eye, hero helpers. But behind the scenes, oh, they're dirtier than your dirtiest cop. They will literally take anything they can find and turn it around into their favor. Right now, their quote-unquote mission is to take down the League of Villains. And they are going after it hard. The League of Villains at one point had an ally, which was Jiren. He has been captured by the Liberation Army, and the Liberation Army itself goes up to Shigaraki. He calls Shigaraki and tells him, our Joker-looking friend, tells him that if he doesn't meet him very soon, he'll kill Jiren. So, what is Shigaraki's next choice going to be? This panel says it's all. I cannot wait for the rest of this series. Now, that is where the war is really going to start. In the shadows. It's going to be between Shigaraki's group and the Liberation Army. But what's going to happen next are the people who are going to get stuck in the middle. Once this fight goes public, we are going to get our pro-heroes involved. Which is, of course, characters like Endeavor, Mount Lady, Comrie Woods, or how about the most important character to talk about, Hawks. Now here's why Hawks is so important. Hawks is a triple agent, not a double agent, a triple agent. He, to the public, is a hero among heroes. But, behind the shadows, he is working for the League of Villains. In fact, Dobby says he possibly has an ally in, I think it was chapter 222 of My Hero Academia. And the fact is, guess who that ally is? Of course, it's gonna be Hawks! I'd be surprised if it was anyone else other than Hawks that he was talking about. Now here's the thing about Hawks though. Hawks might look like he's working for the League of Villains, might even to the public look like he's working as a hero. But he's actually working for the undercover government and their dirty cops. That's right, he's a triple agent for the dirty cop faction is what I'm going to call this faction. What is this faction going to do? I think other than sit back and wait for this war to play out, like they're not going to make a real big move until the last second. In fact, Hawks doesn't have Shigaraki's support or anything like that. He needs to get on Shigaraki's side, so in the next arc could be his greatest chance. Especially if he takes down Endeavor. I think that Shigaraki and the gang is going to eventually make Hawks take down Endeavor. And if he does, he will solidify his League of Villain pass, basically. But of course, that's only because behind him are the true puppet strings, which are the dirty cops, I'm going to call them, or really it's the dirty government. And then of course that is our 4 factions, our main factions. There is a 5th faction to talk about, and that is of course Class 1A, with All Might and all our favorite kiddos. Now here's the thing. Originally, and basically, we would never, no one in the My Hero Academia world would ever let kids get into a fight like this. But the fact is, these kids not only have training behind them, really good training by the last couple of arcs, but these kids also have licenses. And with their hero licenses, they will be allowed to fight on the streets. This is how I think this is going to play out. The League of Villains are going to go up against the Liberation Army. I don't think the Liberation Army is going to be revealed to the public at all. I think they're going to be the ones who are going to be able to keep in the shadows, but the ones that are going to end up in the spotlight is going to be the League of Villains. Of course, the ones who are going to have to fight the League of Villains is going to have to be our pro heroes. But then wait a minute, we got all of these crazy no moves, and I think if anyone has a chance to die, it would probably be, and I know some people might say, oh my god, who cares about this character? But really, Endeavor. If Endeavor died, just think of what that could mean for his son. Just think of that. That would ruin him. It really would. I don't think he would go right after revenge or anything like that, like he's not that type of character, but I really think that would change, I can't remember his name. I really think that would change Icy Hot's mind on the whole situation with his father. Why can't I remember Todoroki? Todoroki, I really think Endeavor dying is going to change Todoroki's mind, and that's how Todoroki could, along with 1A, get involved into this arc. Even if that doesn't happen, the one person who I think is going to end up killing Endeavor might not be Nomu, might not be Shigaraki, but it could be Hawks. And I don't think Hawks, even if he does kill Endeavor, I don't think Hawks has to reveal the fact that he's a villain to anyone but Endeavor either. To the public, he could still be that hero. Behind the scenes, he's the one who killed Endeavor. That would be nuts. Could the series go that dark? I don't know what Horikoshi is going to do. He could do it, especially since the series is getting darker and darker as the chapters go on. But it's possible that he has a longer-term story for Endeavor, so he might not kill him off right away. But I do think this might be Hawks' perfect chance to get in the goods with Shigaraki in the game, and he needs to do that. He needs to pass Shigaraki's test, because if he doesn't, he can't become a true secret agent for our dirty cops. And remember, they're dirty cops, the dirty government, but they're good guys. The only reason why they're doing this would be because they don't want to put everything into one person anymore. They did that with All Might, and it failed. They want to make moves on their own behind the scenes, and I think that's how they're going to do it. I think they're going to place Hawks under the League of Villains, and then stay completely in the dark. Stay completely silent. But that's going to be something coming strong far into the future, believe me. And I think that this could be a very, very fascinating arc. And I cannot wait to see how Midoriya and the gang are going to get involved in this arc, because they are. They're going to get out there on the streets. I know it. I know they're going to end up on the streets. And with their licenses, they're going to become heroes. Now, in terms of death, I think someone could really get hurt, but I don't think anyone except maybe Todoroki's dad, Endeavor. I think Endeavor is the most likeliest character to die, and I don't think that we're going to have much All Might. So don't even worry about All Might dying in this next arc. In fact, I think All Might's going to be safe for at least a short term throughout this entire arc. He could get captured, he could get hurt, and stuff like that, but I don't think Horikoshi is going to kill off All Might until we have an actual arc between All Might and Midoriya again. Which we did kind of during the the overhaul arc, but this is going to be the big arc going in. The Villainous War is going to be the big arc going in, and I cannot wait for it. And technically, it's already started. It's already started with this chapter. I really don't think we're going to get into anything big until maybe chapter 225, 226. I'm thinking next chapter they're just going to meet and maybe start fighting, but nothing's going to really big happen until chapter 226. And the biggest thing that I really want to talk about, the last thing I want to talk about, is Midoriya himself. Because Midoriya, of course, has the possibility of activating these new quirks. So I'm thinking that might come into play in this arc somehow very soon. Again, he's not going to, and I want to state this very plainly, he's not going to master his quirk the very first time he uses it, alright? This is not that type of story. My Hero Academia has never been that type of story, and it never will be. But it is going to be fascinating when we find out what Midoriya and his next quirk is going to be. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think? Am I close? Am I on target with my thoughts on the Villainous Army? The Villainous War. That name is not going to stick for this arc, I know. I don't know what this arc is going to be called. Probably the Liberation arc, the Liberation Army arc. But I really do think that this is going to be become an all-out war and a long-term fight between the story. And I really think that this arc has the most potential on not only being the largest arc, but the longest arc of My Hero Academia. I hope I am correct about that. I hope that this arc is fantastic, and I hope that we do get that sort of war arc that I'm kind of picturing in my head very soon. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know what Horikoshi's gonna do, but I can't wait to find out. And I'm out. Bye.